He's known for the many funerals he's mounted for famous personalities. Let's find out what it's like to be a funeral celebrant from our guest, the multifaceted Gerard Sison.
Hi, Gerard.
Hello.
Hi, Gerard.
Nice to see you again. Gerard,
All Saints.
you're one of the 3 certified funeral celebrants here in the country. For the benefit of our viewers, what is a funeral celebrant?
The certified funeral celebrant makes eulogies and delivers them, because most people do a one-sided eulogy. The celebrant makes it more historical. He interviews a lot of people so that when you listen to his eulogies, you say, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow, that's nice to know. And I've delivered a few of those. But my job here has gone beyond the celebrant. I'm also a host, the singer, and also the
You're
driver.
one-man band.
And the one-man choir.
You were a wedding singer before.
Yes.
And then you transitioned to a funeral.
Well, the wedding singer gives you the guts first. There's nothing fussier than a bride-to-be.
Yeah,
So,
that's so true.
So when you've done years and years of that, then later on you develop your own style that you sing in soft tones. And that's how you should sing in funerals. Because most people, they go, Ave Maria! And that doesn't really comfort people. But when you say, I must have done something good.
Kaya mo yan, Vic? Kaya mo yan?
You know, then people, wow, he's talking to me. And
Yeah.
that's how funerals are called.
From weddings, bakit naging funeral? I mean, is there more money?
I was close
Somebody-
to the owners of Arlington, and so through the years they said, Gerard, we have this important funeral. Can you sing? Sure. And then it became such a regular that it was a transition, a short transition when the owner, Rafael, discovered the celebrant training program. He said, not for me, but Gerard will be perfect for this. So they sent me abroad, and it was over the weekend, but intense. We had 10 fake funerals.
We also heard that during the fake funerals,
We were planning not to-
the
we were trying not to
participants were trying their best to hold their tears.
We were
and that's
getting
because
touched.
you were,
That's what I learned there. You cannot deprive people of to have happy tears or sad tears during a funeral. And the mere act of lining up in front of the casket and putting your hand there makes them emotional. You can't control it.
Being a funeral celebrant, you said that you have to interview some people that have known the deceased, right? Are there times that you're given like 2 days or a day and you say, okay,
2
you have-
hours. 2 hours.
So how do you get to interview her? How do you get to know about the deceased?
You ask the right questions. You just put really personal anecdotes so that it summarizes the person right away. And you also have to mention all the members of the family, even if they're illegitimate. Like how do I do that? Okay. And as was common in those days, the family increased with the birth of Juanita, Sita, like that. Later on, this person said, who wrote that? I did. Thank you for mentioning us. And then, how do you mention the ex-wife? So I asked this question during our training. How do you mention the ex-wife? Okay. I'm sure their children, Marvin and Gretchen, together with their mother, Barbara. You mentioned the ex without saying that she's the ex.
How did you overcome your initial fear of the death?
Oh, the first time I was really far in the end of the room. I had a hanky and, God, this is scary and like that. Then later on, every day I was getting closer and closer and closer. And then, mamaya konti, I'm on top. Mali, hindi pantay. Ito. Okay, ito.
Pati makeup,
Kasi
ina-advise.
you're gonna face the family and...
Hinawakan mo yung...
No. It's all by remote control. But you... Okay.
With the red light here, there.
You can suture, di ba? You can suture them, put mortician's wax. I read up on it because you have to know your entire product system.
Any fumbles or funny moments? Or...
Too many to protect the guilty. But I hope this is the first time I will say this on air because I always say it off stage. We had a big funeral in a police chief was killed in like, oh, pwede pa si Mrs. po palapitin po. Sir, maraming asawa na sila Mrs. po pwede pong palapitin po like that. Then from the crowd an older lady came and she was in hysterics pero walang sound. Sabi ko, OA naman si Lola. Tapos may paalisin natin. Sabi ko, nanay yan eh. Sir, hindi nanay yan. Sir, hindi nanay yan. I'm an expert in this. I know who everybody is. Nanay yan. And sure enough, she was. So they held her up. She was in her black t-shirt, wala atang bra. Ewan ko. That's part of the story. So they're holding up and said, Aray! Sige, nay. Iyakin mo lang. Aray! Sige, nay. Aray! Ang ko, tinutulog niyo, ano ba? And all of us
So what did you do?
Wala. That's stressful. That's stressful.
What was the reaction of the
Comedy! Naging comedy na siya.
Minsan, there's a little boy. Kasi I'm ADHD. I pay attention to everything. I know the old woman there. I know the little boy there who he really has to go to the bathroom. I know the guy who's mixing cement and he's gonna dry up and he's hurrying up. And the Lola walking there ever so slow and the generator set going. Alam ko that's all going on. So somebody signals you and says, do this. Don't distract me. I know everything going on right now. Alam ko lahat ito. And to orchestrate it so that everything is planned. And sometimes, the sun is right on me and somebody puts an umbrella and I move the umbrella. Production design ni Lord yan. Meron beam sa akin eh. And I've had it. Kasi I have part of the prayer said, we know as we close this casket, you are opening the gates of paradise. One time, because this guy was murdered, we weren't able to say it. He was cremated. And everybody went out and released the balloons. And I said, repeat the prayer after me. We know, Lord, that even as we release these balloons, you're opening the gates of paradise. And I'm standing there, and the black clouds behind me open, and there's a beam of light, and all the balloons go there, and the widow was taking pictures, and she said, she kept it on her phone, and I don't have control over these things, but God is the best production designer.
Wow.
And it happens all the time.
You hosted funerals of prominent personalities like Doña Mary Ejercito and Pete Roa.
Pete Roa was unusual. Pete Roa had a full concert in the chapel the day before. 20 people performed. Elizabeth Ramsey, Noel Trinidad, all these people. And she wrote me a really nice note and said, Boots Hanson Roa, dear Gerard, thank you for helping us give Pete a most heartfelt send-off to meet his creator. The spirituality that you evoked and the personal touches you gave the rites made Pete's pre-departure stay and activities most memorable, if not altogether, cause for our internal peace and healing despite the loss we all felt. That is, wow.
And then, when you receive comments like that, letters like that, it makes everything worth it.
Yeah, but you still get bad things like I did living in a Bayani thing. I've done a few of those, and there was a general approach and said, "Are you a priest?" No, sir.
I'm a funeral
Why? We have a priest. Why are you doing that? Well, I have to. Actually, the priest did the ceremony, then he left. And I said, this is not enough. You know it. You know that this is not enough. So I did a little bit of ceremony. I said, I'm sorry, sir, that you felt that way. I apologize. I extended my hand, and he left. And then the family went to me and said, don't listen to him. We loved what you did. And that's what's important.
Maybe because they wanted like a military protocol.
Yeah, and that's it. That's how we were trained then. There are so many people there who mean well, but they'll ruin it. And it will never repeat for the family. So you always have to make it all about the family.
During your career, you did high profile and regular people?
Yes. In Arlington, we had this murang palibing o libreng palibing. And I did the brother-in-law of one of my people. And said, sir, nakakahiya naman. I said, gagawin ko yan sa hindi ko kilala sa'yo pa. Bibigay ko sa'yo. And then I went there to Bagbag Cemetery and there were 100 people, daming tao. And then they all left and there were just 5 of us. But we had a nice, beautiful, meaning funeral.
But could you have done things differently now, knowing what you know now? I mean, if you said that you loved the industry and you loved what you were doing.
I could not give it my 100% or my 200%. I would have done it the same way. But I think it was a phase in my life I had to go through so that I could transition in future things. And then perhaps set an example for people to eventually. Like, maybe it's not going to happen this year, but maybe some little kid saw me when he was small, and 20 years later, he'll become a funeral celebrant. Because when I was small, I saw a guy doing that.
So of those 1,000 plus funerals you've done, what are the top most memorable ones that you can remember?
Oh, there was one. There was a first wife and a second wife, and both of them thought they were the only wife.
Oh no!
Now, the first wife wanted her way, and she was a friend of the owners of Arlington. But the second wife was paying.
Yeah.
So who do you follow? And second wife wanted the song done, but I can't put it in the ceremony. Later on at the end,
So how did you resolve?
when the first wife walked out, then I played her song, and from across the cemetery I could see second wife go.
Oh.
And you made a difference. That somehow you put it in tastefully.
So all your songs or talks, speeches were uplifting.
Pretty much, I don't, mabigat na nga, bibigatan mo pa, di ba? It doesn't matter what I sing, it's how I sing it. I can sing the alphabet and make you cry.
Jared, sorry, you want to sing it?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. You were saying?
That's the saddest ABC
Okay,
ever.
Gerard, don't sing that to Stella, okay?
Don't cry. During this funeral celebrant stint, how many were you doing in a week?
I was doing 4 to 6 in a week.
Wow, didn't
Imagine
that take a toll on your emotions?
It did. I got a heart attack after 5 years of that. And I work out and all that. But it's like, stress is like getting a hairbrush and you rub it on your skin 24/7. It gets swollen. And because the rest of my body was healthy, in my main heart artery, it was closed. So they opened it, they had the angioplasty, and 25 days later, I was back into hot yoga. So I had to do a quick career change. I prayed to the Lord, really short prayers, teach it to everybody. Lord, your will be done, but let your will be clear to me. It is a powerful prayer. It sumagot agad. Because I prayed that 7 times during Visita Iglesia. The following week, Easter week, I had 5 funeral events. And I was getting chest pains, and it was answered to my prayer.
Because you have to also learn how to detach yourself.
Detach, yeah.
But you were having fun.
It was fun in a good sense. You were helping people.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I wish I could go back to it.
So you were in the business of death, and you were in a near-death experience. What was going through your mind at that moment?
Not much. It wasn't frightening. In fact, it didn't look serious. A year later, somebody told my cousin, Gerard is a time bomb. He could have gone. I didn't know that. It was also clear. When it was happening, and this is how a heart attack happens. It's just soreness there, difficulty breathing. I was in a party and I said, but my pulse was going like that. And I showed it to everyone. Look at that. I'm a yogi. So in 2 minutes, I can put it down. It wasn't going down. Maybe you should go to the ER. And I had the heart attack in the ER right there and then. I didn't collapse. I didn't feel pain. And that's why people die. And only people ask me, how did I know? Only by the grace of God. I didn't know that I was, because they said, I think we should keep you here for observation. No, but I have a funeral tomorrow, then I have a wedding, then I have a party. If I went through that the next day, I would have died doing that.
Very interesting conversation we're having. Enjoying our conversation with Gerard Sison. But we'll take a quick break and magbabalik ang cocktails.